My dear fellow listeners and viewers, in this video, I will share with you how to live within your means. That's right. Living within your means is key if you really want to, live happy and make sure that you're not putting yourself, in unnecessary stress and so on. So there are a few things you can do, by the way, and a few things you should do, in order for you to live within your means. The very first thing is to make sure that you know exactly how much money you're making. That's right. In this world, we all need money, right? We need money to survive. We need money for, you know, basic living, for paying the bills, hydro, gas, food, all the basic things, clothing and so on. So each and every individual should have some sort of money coming in, whether that be you working and earn that money, whether that be you collect, interest from money that you have, something along that line, retirement money, pension, something, money should be coming in. If you are not in a situation where money keeps coming in, you are in a very dangerous situation. And that's something needs to be looked at, and you should find a way to get some sort of assistance to make sure that you're collecting, money somehow, whether that be finding yourself a job, whether that be create a system where you have you know money coming in. But if you don't have money, and if you wake up in the morning and you're just hoping for a miracle, that's not a good thing. But let's get to the basics here. So the bottom line is you have to monitor how much money is coming into you, right? So you have to check to see what's coming in, right? If you are on a fixed salary, well, that's easy. You know how much you're making. If you are on fixed salary, or if you're on base salary plus commission, then that might be a little bit different. That's the number one thing. The next thing, you want to make sure that you spend less than what you're making, right? So in other words, if you make $5,000 a month, you want to make sure that you're not spending more than $5,000, right? You want to make sure that the money you make covers all your expenses, right? You have to find a way to make sure that you are in that position, right? These are all ways, these are all things you need to do in order for you to live within your means. The next thing is that you want to find a way to boost your income, right? Try to find a way to invest your money in some ways, right? Invest doesn't necessarily mean that you have to take your money to the bank and then they give you a tiny amount of interest, right? And then the bank makes a whole lot more. If you can find a way to boost your income, right? That will be a beautiful thing, right? It will be beneficial for you. You want to also stop relying on credit cards. So if you have access to credit, it's not a bad thing. It's nice to have that as a safety net, but you do not want to rely on credit cards, right? Because if you're relying on that, then that's an issue, because basically you're borrowing money, you're spending money that you do not have. So it is important to keep track, when it comes to all of these pieces. Also, don't try to keep up with the Joneses, right? um, Basically, what that means is buy the things that you need, right? Live within your means, basically. So, and that's the whole purpose of the video. So basically, you want to make sure that you're not buying a cell phone because you see a friend has one. You're not buying a car because you see your neighbor has one, right? Things like that. What people try to do, they try to compete with each other. It is reality. People do that. Not everybody does it, but the reality is people do these things, right? If somebody has a certain type of car, somebody else will go and get a better model, things like that. It happens. If you want to live within your means, you have to stop all of this nonsense. If you're okay to live on the edge and struggling and not able to sleep in an item, then that's okay too. The choice is yours. However, the purpose of this video is to share with you the things you need to do in order to live within your means. Another thing to keep in mind is that you want to make sure that you save up and purchase for items rather than buy them on credit, right? Especially on a credit card, because credit card, the interest rate is like 29%, 27%, all of that. So you want to keen eye on that. If you know, however, that you will have money for sure coming in and you want to buy an item, that's totally different, right? But you do not want to go and purchase a car using a credit card where they're charging you 29% on your credit card and things like that. So you want to be mindful of that. So generally speaking, you want to save up a little bit, save up, then go and buy your stuff. You can, that's probably a better option, um, you know, to do. Right. So if you save yourself $10,000 and that's all you have, then you buy a car that worth $10,000. If you save up, $40,000, then you buy a car that worth $40,000. But if you're buying and you keep paying and you're paying lots of interest, that's a whole different ball game. There it can be very challenging for you, right? For many people, not everybody, right? And also you want to build an emergency fund. So an emergency fund will be you putting away money at the side for the rainy days, so to speak. So that's what a safety fund is. So if you don't have a safety fund, if you're watching this video and if you don't have a safety fund, you are living on the edge there, because you want to make sure you have some saving on the side just in case if something goes wrong. Meaning that if something goes wrong and you lose your job, you should be able to still make payments. When it comes to your mortgage, your rent, you should be able to carry on with life as if you still have your job, right? If you depend on your paycheck to pay your rent or buy your food and so on, you are living on the edge. And these things need to be looked at, right? Most of the times we have to, you know, um, do things a little bit different and find ways, to make it work for us. We cannot always rely on people, to make it easy on us. We cannot always rely on the government and things like that, right? Some of us tend to rely on people all the time. That's not how we should be, right? People should be able to kind of um, make sure that they're doing whatever they can if they're able bodies and so forth. So again, the purpose of this video is to share with you the things you will need to do in order for you to live within your means. And it is such of a beautiful thing, by the way, when you live within your means, because you will be a happy person. You will go to bed and sleep and not having to worry about anything because you're not spending money that you don't have. So thanks for listening. Thanks for watching. My name is Narayan Supra. I'm wishing you a great today and even better tomorrow. I'll talk to you soon.